rumors of Dan Hurley's demise may have been greatly exaggerated or premature, because don't look now. What is this? Two out of 3 ranked wins. You beat Baylor. Well, I guess Texas wasn't ranked, but that's a good team. That's obviously a good team, and it's on the road. So it's a pseudo-ranked win. I'm going to call it a pseudo-ranked win, all right, damn it. But that was really never even in doubt, T.O., as UConn gets Caravan back, and they go into Austin, and they get this win in very comfortable fashion, 76-65, led by Alex Caravan. As we sort of see this season progress and we can put Maui behind us, is this UConn team going to be in the mix for a third straight by the end of this season?
I think they're very much a second weekend possibility there. I think getting all the way to the national championship game and winning it is possible. I don't know that it's probable. I do like what they have. Donovan Klingen's not walking through those doors. I feel like Terrace Reed's still very good. Alex Caravan was great in the first half today, and I thought what changes things for them is when they decide to defend. Because so far this year, outside of these last 2 games, the defense has been kind of here and there. Last 2 games has been excellent. They shouldn't have gone to Maui. They should have gone to Texas for vacation, because then Hurley would have been a lot happier.
Tyler, what do you make of this UConn team? I mean, now that, they're, like we said, trying to put that week behind them.
I'm not worried about UConn. I think that Hurley, I don't know what in the heck happened to him out in Hawaii, 3 straight to unranked teams. But I will say Caravan, I like him. Samson Johnson, I'm a big fan of him. But also Terrace Reed is a guy who can provide you with some scoring down low. And I really feel like Dan Hurley does a really good job of, using his bigs in different ways and put them in scoring position. You look at Klingen, you look at the big that they had. I can't remember the guy from the championship run.
Sonogo.
Sonogo. I mean, Sonogo and Reed. I mean, Reed's no Sonogo, but kind of similar styles. I mean, he can get you
good
down
point.
low, good hands, get you rebounds, and I feel like he's one of those guys. And the McNeely kid is a talented freshman. Could they contend for a third? It's possible. I mean, I wouldn't bet on it, but I wouldn't be, floored if they didn't make it to the Final Four. Once you get to the Final Four, you can have a chance at a title again. And obviously, I think that you can never underestimate experience, good quality coaching. Hurley knows what he's doing. He's been there, and he'll know how to get his team ready. And, I love the sets that they run. And this is a very disciplined team, just like every other Hurley team. They run sets that really make the defense work. And they have guys that are athletic and big, and they have rim protectors. The Johnson kid is a rim threat, and he will protect and control the paint with his athleticism and length. And I'm a big fan of that, and I think that wins you ball games in the tournament, especially when you can't score, and I think that's a great asset.
Huge opportunity for them on Saturday, obviously, with Gonzaga. T.O., you look like you had a thought.
No, I think also, everybody mentions Caravan. I feel like everybody by default has to mention Liam McNeely because he was a highly ranked kid and he shoots a pretty ball. But like against Dayton, he was nothing. The guy that I have been really impressed with, and a lot of it is because I didn't see it coming. Solo Ball. Whenever I saw him play in high school, I was like, man, big athlete, super long arms, capable of doing anything on the floor. But sometimes these muscle-bound guys struggle to shoot the ball. And his shot was okay, but it wasn't something to really write home about. That dude is filling it the hell up. And he's spotlighting at the point guard. The man's shooting almost 46% from 3, and it's not on like 10 attempts, or 15, 20 attempts. The dude's getting rocks up, and he's knocking down shots. He has really stepped forward. It's like he had to wait and learn behind Tristan Newton and learn behind Cam Spencer, and then he's come in and he's really taken advantage of his opportunity. Like, kid is talented, and he kind of gives them another threat on the perimeter. But, you look around, Hassan Diarra, 4 points, I think 11 assists today, or 10 assists. Like, they have guys who are so willing to buy into their role, and a lot of that's credit to coaching. Can they win a national championship? They can. Do I think they will? I think they're a second weekend team, but I do think they're very talented and they're very freaking tough.
Yeah, I think that's a good call out, because one of the things that I just sort of noticed watching them that week in Maui, and it's understandable because you're talking about 2 straight off seasons of complete reload for the most part, right? Losing 30-40% of your production, and you're really having to start over this year. You could see, like, as the shot creation becomes a little bit more developed and roles start to be defined and refined, I can see the vision, man. I'm not like betting them for national champion or anything like that, Tyler, but you could just see a world where these guys understand way more in February. And what we talk about Duke, right? I think it's kind of the same thing with this UConn team. They may not be as young, but in terms of minutes played, they kind of are. So you could see a world in, February, March where this does look a whole lot different. And it does look like, one of the best teams in college basketball. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So anyway,
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No,
I got one point to go along with what you guys are both saying. And you in particular, John, I loved your point about like still kind of learning what they are and where their roles are. There was a pretty cool point. Schulman and Billis were talking. They're like, every time, UConn gets in a jam towards the end of the clock, they find Caravan. Well, that is true. However, a guy like Liam McNeely, who played at Montverde Academy, he's played with a lot of really, really good players. But a couple of those like easy shots for Caravan towards the end came as a result of Liam McNeely making a hard cut to the rim and taking 2 defenders with him. And then Caravan ends up with wide open threes. So understanding you can impact the game doing different things. So you look at a guy like Terrence Reed, transfers from Michigan. He's asked to do a little bit different, not totally different, but a little bit. You look at Liam McNeely, who's this super freshman. He's learning how to impact the game and doing different things. Solo ball this year, doing some different things. So while I think the upside is still there because you have some of these younger players, a lot of sophomores playing, like some of these other guys that have been hurt lately, like they're still trying to find different ways to be effective and different ways to impact the basketball game. And that's what you ended up seeing today and against Baylor.
Yep.